Welcome to Blue Chips, the show that dives deep into the future stars of the NFL. From five-star recruits to under-the-radar gems, Blue Chips is where you can tune in to get the best breakdown of the prospects that are playing on Saturdays that will be playing on Sundays. I'm your host, the one true authentic fantasy football analyst, the most genuine man in all the land. I'm Matty Kiwoom, and today we're talking about tight ends. We're going through my top 5 tight ends in the 2026 class. These are the draft eligible tight ends in college football, the guys that are playing on Saturdays, that soon enough they'll be playing on Sundays. We're going to count them down from 5 all the way to 1. You're going to want to stick around and check it out. Coming in at number 5, we have Max Klare. Max Klare is the tight end for the Ohio State Buckeyes. He's 6'4", 235 pounds. He is a junior. He is transferring in conference rival, the Purdue Boilermakers. So he's going from Purdue to OSU in 2024, 74 targets, 51 receptions, 684 receiving yards. He had 4 touchdowns. He had a pretty impressive 2.22 yards per out run, 338 yak yards, and an 85.6 receiving grade on PFF. Now, breaking down some of the film, 2 words: safety blanket. This kid is always open over the middle of the field. He's pretty good at getting open towards the ends as well, kind of testing the boundaries, getting open, finding some space, really settling in zone defenses and helping out his quarterback. On tape, it's clear he moves well. He looks pretty nimble for his size. I kept thinking of the term light on his feet, and he had good acceleration. He's good at getting the motor running, getting upfield. Now, I didn't see a lot of thump in his game on film, but spoiler alert, none of the guys on this list really had a whole lot of that. We're not really looking at any thumping tight ends here so far in my stage 1 scouting, so that's all right. His hands weren't super reliable. He did have 5 drops last year, which is among some of the biggest drop numbers in all of college football last year. But even so, I think he can develop. He's got the size, he's got the catch radius, so I do think he can work on that. Just get on the jugs machine, just get get on the jugs machine. You'll be all right. And I do believe, out of my top 5 tight ends, you could say Max Klare has the most upside out of any tight end because the way he moves, he like I said, pretty agile kid, light on his feet. It was pretty impressive in terms of planting his foot and kind of cutting when he's trying to get more yards upfield. So he's not quite there yet through my stage 1 scouting, but he does have a lot of potential. And in this offense, we could be hearing this name quite a bit throughout the 2025 college football season. My stage 1 scouting draft grade, day 2, get ready to hear that a lot in today's video. And my comp for Max Klare so far is Cole Kmet. Let's move on to number 4, Jack Endries, tight end from Texas, 6'4", 240 pounds. He is a junior. He also transferred in his new school, Texas. He transferred in from Cal. He played for the Cal Berkeley Golden Bears, or whatever they're called, the Bears over in Cal. In 2024, he had 61 targets. He caught 56 of them, 623 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns, a 2.03 yards per route run, added 350 yards after catch, and posted a 85.4 receiving grade on PFF. Watching some film on Jack Endries, first thing I noticed, he was a very reliable target at Cal. Only 1 drop last year. I don't know if he's going to have, that impressive 40 time. I don't know if he's really going to have that, whoa, did you see what he did in Indy type of 40, but he's not going to turn heads in that department. But I do believe he's going to be quick enough to take advantage of the open field. You could see him kind of scoop, get upfield, get north-south. So I do believe he does have enough quickness for that. Not super agile, that's for sure, but he does do 2 things particularly well that helps gain some yards. He helps push the ball, move the chains, get the offense going towards the end zone, get it moving. Those 2 things. 1, he's really good at sitting in the zone. Finds the weak spot, finds that soft spot, sits well, receives the pass, and then he's good at getting north-south. He's not really agile. He's not really flight of feet. He definitely doesn't have some of the abilities that Max Klare has, but he is good at just planting his feet, getting forward, pushing forward. You need 3, he's going to get you 4. You need 4, he's going to get you 3.5 type of guy. He's 3 yards and clouded dust, but he does do, gets north-south pretty well. Not flashy. Sometimes the film even looked a tad boring, I would say, but he does do the fundamentals right. He is a very fundamentally sound tight end. And because of those fundamentals, because he's good at finding the soft spot in the zone, because he's good at getting an extra yard when you need it, he could prove to be a very dependable target for developing Arch Manning. And I think that's very enticing. I think that of my top 5, I think Jack Endries is as safe to finish inside my top 5 after the 25 season as anyone else on this list. Right now, my stage 1 scouting draft grade, day 3. Oh, no. So Matt Klare was day 3 as well. So these guys are day 3. Day 3. So rounds 4, 5, and 6 right now. But they could get better. Could go up. And my comp for Jack Endries is Hunter Henry. That's number 5 and number 4 on the list. But before we get into the top 3, let's hear from today's sponsor.
The world-famous Draft Kit is live, and it is this signature bit of content that we create every year to help you dominate your fantasy league. The most in-depth team previews you'll find anywhere, including signature trends and a lot of key stats on individual teams. Also, a 300-player cheat sheet for best ball, for seasonal leagues, individual cheat sheets from the top analysts here at Player Profiler. There's also video analysis and written analysis from some of the top minds in the industry. And we have all these new features like a Rate My Team feature, plug in your roster, and our AI tools automatically generate a draft score, as well as a whole commissioner guide. You have to subscribe to it to believe it. PlayerProfiler.com/draftkit, PlayerProfiler.com/draftkit. Get it now. Go win.
Coming in at number 3 on my 2026 draft eligible tight ends in college football, Justin Joly from NC State, 6'3", 251 pounds. He's going into his senior season. In 2024, 57 targets, caught 43 balls, 661 receiving yards, 4 touchdowns. He posted a 1.79 yards per route run, added 254 yards after catch, and had a 72.3 receiving grade on PFF. Now, of all my top 5, this is probably my biggest projection. This guy is probably the kid in which I've kind of extrapolated what I predict, kind of just really see projecting what he could be in 2025. And the reason is, I think he could be an absolute weapon. The production there, the surface stats are there. We saw him jump up in competition in 2023. He played at UConn. In 2024. He played at NC State. So we saw that jump up in competition, and he still produced for the Wolfpack. This kid's an absolute weapon out of the slot. He posted a 62.1% mark last year. He's got really, really good hands, especially in contested catches situations. He's got, some issues when it comes to size and strength. I don't know if that's really going to help him play in line at the NFL level. It certainly won't be a massive benefit due to the strength. But I do think at 251 pounds at 6'3", could develop, kind of grow into it just a little bit more and play a little bit more in line. Because like I said, 62% in the slot last year. But when he is deployed out, off the line of scrimmage or off the, being, in the slot or out wide, he is an absolute weapon. And it's really clear when you watch the film that he's athletic. This kid's athleticism shines, especially when you see him kind of make defenders miss after the catch. I mean, very nimble after catch, very explosive after catch. This kid's an absolute weapon. And it's easy to see him becoming that modern, prototypical tight end, maybe a little bit undersized, doesn't need to block as much, but it can deploy him in different ways, get him the ball in different ways, manufacture touches all over the field, let him do work in space. So that's why I really, really like him. And I think that after another big season from Joly, that you could see, the draft stock soar. So I really like him. He's in my number 3 tight end right now. My stage 1 scouting draft grade, though, another day 3 guy. Got a lot of day 3 guys. I'm not exactly sure where they parse out, but right now he's day 3 tag. And my comp for him is Zach Ertz. So I'm not saying he's going to be Zach Ertz, but when you remember back, and if you're as old as I am, you do remember back when Zach Ertz was drafted, he wasn't a top, first round pick or whatever. He had to develop. It took him some years. And I could see that being a similar trajectory here because the skill set reminds me an awful lot of Zach Ertz. Let's get into number 2, Tanner Koziol. So Tanner here, my man, 6'6", 257 pounds, is playing at Houston this year. He is a senior transferring from Ball State. Ball State isn't known for its football prowess. It's not, the number one program in all the land, which you could discount some of these stats, but the stats were impressive nonetheless. In 2024, 123 targets, 94 receptions, 840 yards, 8 tutties, 2.02 yards per route run, added 339 yards after catch, and also posted an 89.4 receiving grade on PFF. What stands out on film, he knows how to use his size and his long catch radius to create mismatches. Now, I know that it's at Ball State. I'm very excited to see if that can translate at Houston, but he knows how to use that size, 6'6". He knows how to use that long catch radius to bring in, create those mismatches. He was amongst some of the best he was amongst some of the best in all of FBS last year in terms of contested catch. And I'm just really excited to see how that translates to Houston, go up against stronger defenders in 2025. He did have 4 drops, but despite those drops, I see really strong hands. Matter of fact, when I watched just the film and I got away from the stats, and some of the drops did look like concentration drops, which can be fixed, he has some of my favorite hands in all the tight end class. So he ranks really high in the QM rating for hands. I think he's got strong hands. I do think that those 4 drops will be a bit of an anomaly, and we'll see that kind of go under the bridge in 2025. And he was able to win despite having less than stellar route running. I don't think he's one of the better route runners at the tight end position, but I would like to see him refine that to see if it just boosts the production, just boosts the ability to get open, and really helps him get better against that better competition. So he was able to win on size and athleticism alone, not necessarily the route running prowess at Ball State. But if he can develop, if he can kind of refine that route running, I think he can take another step up against better competition. I wouldn't say he was a bad blocking tight end at Ball State, but his technique definitely has some room for improvement. Again, going up in competition, playing at Houston this year. We want to see him use that 6'6" frame, use all 260 pounds, really get better as a blocker. If you're going to have that type of size, you want to play in line for sure at the next level. And I'm not really sure if he has any of that whoa speed. I don't know if we're going to see him on tape and be like, whoa. But he did grade pretty well after catch on my keyword rating. And I think that just goes to show of his athleticism and his ability to kind of wiggle a little bit more than that 6-foot frame, and that maybe lack of speed would typically show. So I like what I've seen out of Koziol, and I think this year we're going to see a nice step up in terms of his production at Houston. Stage 1 scouting draft grade, another day 3 pick. So even my number 2 guy is ranked in day 3 for me, which goes to show there's a lot of room for battling. My top 5 list will definitely take shape, and it will definitely have some substitutions, some changes as the season goes on. But as of right now, he's graded pretty much the same line as everywhere else. But my comp so far for Tanner Koziol is Dallas Goedert. Let's move on to my number 1 tight end. First and foremost, make sure you're liking the video. Smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the Player Profiler Now YouTube channel, and leave a comment. Who's your favorite tight end in college football right now? Number 1 guy, Eli Stowers. I like me some Eli. Eli Stowers at Vandy, 6'4", 235 pound, going into his senior season. Vanderbilt is not his latest stop. Well, it is his latest stop, but he's been there for a year. But he also played at Texas A&M. He also played at New Mexico State, I believe. Came into college as a quarterback. So you kind of see that translate. He's very QB friendly. Diego Paiavilla loves him some Eli Stowers, and so do I. In 2024, 67 targets, caught 50 of them. That's great efficiency there. 644 receiving yards, 5 touchdowns, posted a 2.43 yards per hour run. Very nice metric there. Had 373 yards after catch and had an 89 receiving grade on PFF. He graded out really, really well. He was my highest rated route runner at tight end by far. Does a really great job settling into the soft spots of zone coverage. And with that athleticism, he's able to turn the ball upfield afterwards. So I really like that characteristic, that ability, and I think it'll play well at the NFL level. Good hands and fantastic concentration skills. He is an absolute weapon at the position with very sick post after catch abilities. You get the kid the ball, he's going to make plays. Size and athleticism absolutely translates to that modern tight end. You don't need to be much of a blocker nowadays. You don't have to be in line. They can get a donkey to do that too. But we've seen, guys like Dalton Kincaid. We've seen, these athletic guys go early in NFL drafts. And I think Eli Stowers kind of falls into that mold, that modern offensively minded NFL weapon at tight end. Strength is definitely going to be a concern at the next level, but he is nimble enough, quick enough, agile enough to be productive as a pro. My stage 1 scouting draft grade is day 2, but I could see this kid being the lone tight end drafted in round 1. I think his ability is there, and my comp proves it as well. Evan Ingram is a first-round tight end in his own right. I see a lot of similarities to Evan Ingram in his game. So you're talking about agile, speed, good hands, good concentration, ain't afraid to go get it in traffic. Eli Stowers is the complete package, and that's why he is my tight end 1 during my stage 1 scouting program. That's it. That's the show. I'm Matty Kiwu. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the Player Profiler Now YouTube channel, leave a comment. Who's your favorite tight end in college football? And I'll see you next time. Peace.
Hey, I want to thank you for being part of this broadcast. If you have any thoughts on it, leave a comment. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like. And if you want to see more shows on the Player Profiler channel, subscribe to it. That's how we know you want more.